This episode of Capes and Lunatics is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. Get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code Southgate to get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com.
Recording has started.
Who was that handsome man just speaking? Who was that handsome man speaking before? Why, it was clearly me and my good friend...
Phil Perich. What show is this?
This is Super Connectivity, and I'm your host, Charlie the Professor Esser. I like to change it up, Philip. You got to be ready to improv. You got to be ready to roll with it. You know.
I see that. I thought you were going to say, "Who was that handsome man before?" Shaft.
Oh, you know, you Philip are always the
wind beneath your wing.
Wind beneath my cape. Yes. So, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Super Connectivity. As we delve further into the wonder and the lore of comic books, philosophy, and everything else that we can think of at the given moment. That's what I wanted to look at. Communication. Communication between me and Phil. Oh, Surgeon Supreme, which we kind of talked about, and Mark Waid.
Because they're canceling Moon Knight at 20, but yeah, they're coming out with that Surgeon Supreme now that his hands are fixed, I guess.
Yeah, well, okay. I mean, look, the idea that you save one life, as I said, the cost is you might not be able to use magic anymore, which is kind of something they've been hinting at with the freaking accountant of magic.
Yeah.
He beat up the accountant once, but he's like, dude, I'm just an abstract construct. I'm not even really an accountant. That's just how you would perceive me. Do you really think the Time Variance Authority is really people in suits? No, that's just how your little material brains can conceive them. As our good friends in Loki told us this week.
Oh, yes.
Philip, did you read Loki?
Of course I did.
Yeah, I enjoyed this. I enjoyed this immensely. Both in the fact that it is so freaking meta as it dances between the things. And, we have our little rhyme and reason as Loki meets then and now the children of eternity. Interestingly, then can both mean past and future if you think about it, because you can say, well, we did we did this then, or then we will do this.
Mm-hmm.
Then isn't just the past. The then can also be the future. Because that is the then of the future. We use then in both ways.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's something that they're trying to mess with us here. But yeah, they're definitely playing into Loki's ego here, and but he knows it the whole time. And I gotta say, star of the show is Frosty. Frosty the snowman. Prefect King of Jotunheim.
He rolls with an iron twig.
Yeah, well, at one hand you feel like, is he wiser than Loki or is he more foolish? Because we see that the other Smallborn, Darth the Smallborn, also, is concerned about Frosty's rule. But an interesting aspect here when you look at these, and perhaps that's something we should consider here when you look at the books of the heroes.
Mm-hmm.
They're not actually books. They're the images of books. You can see them peeling back. They are but pages, but images that which should have been Loki's first clue that maybe everything he's being told isn't quite true.
But
Yeah.
the Children of Eternity are the reason why Wolverine and Spider-Man characters like that seemingly appear in multiple places in a month.
Yes, that's what they tell us because there's just too much story for them. Yeah, and Loki, he's jumping between his personas, but there's so much going on there, and we have this framing device of Megan and Robin.
Mm-hmm.
The woman whose nightmare is that she never went to that party, never was with her beloved. But this feeds into what I think is the big reveal at the end after Loki, signs the book, because that always ends well.
Mm-hmm.
And he meets up with Nightmare again. First off, he wakes up just before he meets Tony Stark. And runs into Nightmare again, and Nightmare basically says, I can see all your fears, and your fear is you're still in Laufey's stomach.
Mm-hmm.
Bum, bum, bum. Now, next issue, we also see the cover is Loki feeding the Raven a carrot. So, I don't know what we're supposed to take from all this. It's definitely interesting. I really enjoy it. You know me, I love a good meta book.
Oh, yeah.
But I get the feeling that it's all a dream.
Oh, yeah, it's Nightmare.
The dream, the Nightmare is the reality because the reality is Nightmare. But once you wake up, then it was just a nightmare. And it was as real as it could be while you're in it. But in the end, it's just a dream.
I was gonna say I have like 2 or 3 writers I want to try to get a hold of for more interviews. I might have to add this gentleman's name who wrote this issue to that list. So
Kibblesmith?
Yeah.
Yes, Kibblesmith. Oh, well, first off, if that's not the name of a writer, that just sounds like a made-up name for a writer. Kibblesmith. It just sounds, because he's smithing kibbles. What the heck is a kibble? Is it an ishkabibble? Is he an ishkabibble smith? He just puts down the words and makes them into a thing? I'm telling you, either it's his real name or it's a made-up name, but it's one of those two things. And if it's a real name, then he must have some sort of family lineage as a great smith of stories. So, Mr. Kibblesmith, if that is your real name. Daniel, well, it could be Danielle spelled oddly, but
I'm pretty sure I saw something on social media. I believe it's a
it's a fella.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
But Mr. Kibblesmith, if that is your real name, come and face us.
All right, I got a question for you. I'm very curious. Did you read Moon Knight Annual 1?
Did not get the chance to. And it's an act of evil. Well, I was trying to get through Prodigal.
Kang. It's
I know.
Kang.
I know it's Kang.
Oh, how did you like it?
Philip, you know what? Let me explain something to you. I have to read all these books.
I know.
But I get home from work.
I thought this would have been
Friday night.
I thought this would have been one of your first ones. It's Kang.
I gotta read the ones I actually bought first.
Yeah.
And I think they were sold out of that by the time I got there. So they sold out a lot of books at my store this week. So.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I was really surprised.
Well, it's like either they're selling good or they're not ordering a lot.
Yeah, one or the other.
Yeah.
I didn't get them where they're all getting pulled. They order as many as people ordered and say, "Oh, you wanted that? Maybe you should have put that on a pull list then if you wanted that so badly." So tell me about Moon Knight and Kang.
Well,
are they best friends?
No. It starts in Egypt in 2500 BC, and Kang basically ambushes this like cult of Khonshu and tries to grab these like 3 mystical artifacts, but then Khonshu steps in and basically like throws them into the time stream, and Kang's like, "Oh, that's not going to stop me. I can rewrite history and stuff." And they flash to like an altered present. Basically, Kang's gotten rid of all the heroes except for Moon Knight, because Khonshu's like protecting Moon Knight. Yeah, and
That sounds fascinating.
Moon Knight almost doesn't remember what that stuff's been altered, but then Khonshu sends him through time to like get these mystical artifacts. I don't know if that. I'm guessing this is like a retcon, but we're getting like different Moon Knights in different eras. Like he meets a Wild West Moon Knight.
There will always be a Moon Knight, Philip.
I know.
Like a Batman, there must always be a Moon Knight.
Oh, then there was one in Germany in 1945.
Oh,
Fighting with the Allies. Fighting with the Allies.
Okay, I was going to say not a Nazi Moon Knight.
No.
Did that with Thor.
No.
Wasn't a good idea. Oh,
but yeah, then there's just like one panel of each. Yeah, there's like ones in like, in Boston in 1776, in Chicago in 1925, in London in 1896. Just there's even one or two in the future. Yeah, so like they really didn't show any multiple personalities for Moon Knight. So I don't know if they're just like they're going to go with more of the legacy thing. Are they building something for Disney?
Well, yeah. Well, because obviously, the multiple personality Moon Knight. Oh, here's how they're going to work it. So, big prediction because super connectivity, all about fan theories.
Yes.
They're going to establish the idea that when you become the Moon Knight, you're linked to all the other Moon Knights that have ever been and ever will be. And so, because we have time, because Marvel is dealing that time travel right now. And so my prediction for the Moon Knight series is it is going to be the Fist of Khonshu throughout time. But it is also a Fist of Khonshu in one point in time. And it'll be this Fist of Khonshu. Have they cast him yet?
No.
They're going to get an Egyptian actor. But it's going to be, it's going to be one of those, like, what race is he? Is he Mediterranean? Is he Italian? It's going to be an Egyptian guy, but he's probably going to be, depending on how much sun he got that day, kind of Egyptian guy. And they're going to cast him, and he's going to be fantastic because it is a Marvel Disney property. And it's going to be him throughout history and throughout time. Sort of like they did with, Julian Bashir, where, you didn't necessarily know that he was supposed to be anything other than a white guy the first couple of seasons, and then all of a sudden he has his name changed in the credits and go, oh! Then, they just start
they're going to get one of those guys who's like indeterminate race. He could be anything.
Exactly. Yeah. Like to go in the opposite direction. Who's the guy who played Gandhi? He was the Mandarin. Sir Ben Kingsley. It's just, and not for nothing, for what it's worth, the Welsh are one of these people who are very much of indeterminate race. A lot of Moors settled there. We're just going to leave it at that. And, it's like, it shows up every now and again. People who tan well confuse the heck out of Hollywood.
Is it going to be different Moon Knights through history, or is he going to keep reincarnating?
No, well, it's going to be both. It's going to be one Moon Knight who's going to be our central Moon Knight in the modern 616.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But you're going to see he has this dozen other personalities of all the other Moon Knights. And maybe his own personality. And you know what it's going to be? Oh, here's how you square the circle. He is half bubble off level. But that's why Khonshu can speak to him. Because whereas everyone else, when they start thinking they have multiple personalities, he says, nope, don't have that. That's just fantasy. It's not that. He's the one person who can embrace his madness. And they're going to have a character who is struggling with his own He's going to be the first schizophrenic superhero, but they're going to do it in a positive way to talk about how you can differentiate reality from fantasy, and that sometimes in an extraordinary world, maybe the extraordinary answer is the answer. I don't know if that's a good message, but I think they're going to try and thread that needle.
How about this? I mean, you could give everyone like their own Moon Knight. Like, if you have multiple personalities, when one takes over visually, you could have a different actor under the,
That's an interesting idea. So you have like 6 guys playing Moon Knight. The only problem is that's a lot of casting.
True. But it's Disney. They got them.
Because basically then you got to lose Frenchie. That's all I'm saying. You don't want to lose Frenchie.
No, but you just do. Yeah, but you only do one at a time, though.
No, because you got to have it, because it doesn't make sense unless you have the transition. Unless you basically have 6 different Moonlights, but they always have a Frenchie.
Oh.
So like in Old West, I am Frenchie, the French Canadian. Now I'm Frenchie, the other part of places where people are from. I'm Frenchie, the Creole. Now I'm Frenchie, the multiple Frenchies. There must always be a Frenchie. That's all I'm saying. Guy who's kind of in love with Moon Knight, but Moon Knight doesn't see it.
I mean, yeah, in the early 2000s, yeah, Frenchie came out as gay. So, I mean, he in love with Moon Knight. Literally, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, did we ever talk about the fact that the guy who's playing John Walker looks a lot like D-Man on this show?
Yes. I believe last
we did.
in your black.
Yeah,
I think we did, yes.
Yeah, I know. It happens. Yeah.
Did you listen back?
But another person who's come out as a hero obsessed ginger gay man. Just gonna say, I think that maybe Marvel's hitting that well too often. Not every gay ginger has to be hero obsessed. Okay, let's have at least one gay ginger who's like, heroes, I could take him. Okay. But no, it's an interesting concept. And the idea of Moon Knights Through Time does sound interesting.
I was going to say,
and
sometime this weekend, read that. You'll like that Moon Knight annual.
I am going to try. I also have to clean. I have so much to do. Time runs out, and then all next week, I am busy doing an episode of Capes and Lunatics 1, 2, 3.
Live!
And Tristan will be there. Not in his underwear, though. We're going to be professional because this is Phil's house.
Ben, Tristan, Maz, all Charlie's kids.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about Ben yet, but yeah,
okay.
I mean,
okay.
Well, he says he's coming. I don't know if he's going to. He's like, oh, okay. It's just, will you have a place I can plug in my phone? Okay. He's 13. Phil doesn't know yet.
No, I know.
He still has the young, innocent one.
Who's 13?
Your brother is 13. Yes, he is.
I don't know.
Here's a book that was really good this week.
Oh, the Orville.
They brought the Orville back.
What is that?
They said it was a 2-issue limited series, but now it's like, no. Yeah, they did number 3. And this is, again, a 2-issue limited series. But it's 3, so it's like, I think they're going to do just like 2-issue books until they stop selling. But Orville is great. This still takes place in that period between season 1 and season 2. Because season 3, it's going over to Hulu.
Yep.
And like I said, it just captures everything about the Orville that is really awesome. We open up with a little nail on the head here story of our gang in the Hollow Suite or the Hollow Deck or the Hollow, whatever they call it. They're redoing the Ballad of Saladin captures Israel, and it's like they are completely oblivious to like why this is in any way significant or why this might cause controversy in our modern world. Because you know what? If you can't troll the trolls, you're not doing it right. And so Saladin and the Muslims, of which our best friend Cass, are running in to go take out those Knights Templar, which I'm going to tell you is driving the conspiracy theorists nuts because they don't like the Knights Templar either. They're like, wait, Knights Templar, but that's how you know you're a good troll, when you can make the trolls confused. But our basic plot line is there is this ship that's just running crazy towards Krill space. And they're like, we can't let a Union vessel go into Krill space. First off, it's a violation of whatever truces we have, and they're going to get myrtleized. So they put a whole tractor beam on them, hold them off. They hack their control systems because their engines are about to blow, trying to break free. And they bring them in, and we get the guys they captured. And I don't know, I think that guy looks like John Delancey a bit.
Maybe a little bit.
Just a little bit,
Maybe they're hoping to get him on the show.
Oh gosh, we can only hope. We can only hope. And this would be a great character for John Delancey because, as we see later, we got this. We got this character. This is the hot engineer chick that Lamar knows. And we also see Dan gets a moment of redemption here because he mentions earlier that, gee, as they were trying to take it over, there's some kind of weird feedback. And Mars says, never mind the feedback. Let's take control of them and shut down the engines. Yeah. And it turns out that feedback was a virus that has infected the computer, sends them to somewhere. But first we find out that our rescued xenoanthropologists, who were the first people to read the what was it called? The Ankana, the Krill Holy Book, started to become obsessed with it. They started practicing the Krill religion, but because it was only a partial book, they went and found a teacher in Telia. Remember her? Captured Krill lady?
Mm-hmm.
And they started learning about the ways of Avis. And, of course, the followers of Avis are quite upset at our captain because he does not think that it's a good idea for them to run blind into Krill space because the Krill will murder them. And they're like, no, Avis will protect us. He's like, I don't know if I want to trust Avis to protect you guys. And then they find out that the virus they accidentally downloaded, as if it was some kind of Mocklin porn, has stranded them in Krill space, 35 light years in. So, I mean, I'm loving this. I can't wait for season 3 on Hulu. I mean, I'm getting it anyway. I love Hulu, and it's like these are the kind of things that make me want to keep paying for Hulu every month. It's that they're bringing back the Orville, so awesome! And I love the Orville comic book. It's really good. In fact, it's like they didn't pull it from me this week, so I said, "Hey, make sure the Orville is on my pull list this week," because I thought it was, but apparently maybe it wasn't. I know I didn't put it on. I probably didn't put it on because the first, I never put it on after the first issue, but I probably would have put it on after the second issue, but then it stopped or I thought it stopped after the second issue because they said 1 of 2. So they're giving us trouble over there. I don't know. Anyway, Philip, any other books?
I know you had to have read Daredevil, right?
Man, I told you, I only, man, and I wanted to because it's one of the 3 books. I downloaded 3 books. I did Prodigal, I did Daredevil, and I did Moon Knight. But it's like I can only read so many in the hours between when I get home,
I can't believe you read
eat
Prodigal
dinner,
first.
And we start recording.
You read Prodigal before Daredevil?
Because you know why I read Prodigal? Because I said I really liked Prodigal.
Mm-hmm.
And to be fair, I didn't actually read Prodigal. I just skimmed it. But yeah, I really wanted to read Daredevil because I wanted to see if there was any color things. And it was weird when I went to because I saw that you had downloaded it and I saw that it was there, but they only had like the last issue of it at my store. It's like they didn't have the new issue. Because I went and picked up the book and I said, wait, I think I've read this, but this looks like the last issue I read. So what happens in it, Philip?
Well, we get like another Daredevil copycat trying to save somebody, and then he gets, I guess, beaten by the police. And of course, remember last issue, Elektra corners Matt Murdock on a rooftop, and he's all thinking, "Oh yeah, remember back during that Purple Kids run where they erased the world's memory of Matt Murdock?" He's like, "Yeah, I don't think she remembers my identity, but I don't know." She's like, I don't know what you're doing. If you don't want to call yourself Daredevil, fine, but you got to do, you want to get back out there. And she's like, I'll be your new stick and stuff. So I guess I don't know if Elektra's gonna like train him, spiritually heal him. I don't know.
Again, he's wearing white.
Yes, he's wearing white.
Man, I don't know what we're working with, man. It's like they're leading me in certain directions, but yeah. See, this is not the book they had on the shelf when I was there, man. Because if they had this, I would have bought it. And then if I had bought it, I would have read it because it would have been one I had bought. And then, like when I saw it, I was like, wait, it wasn't in one this. I see Spider-Man makes a cameo.
Oh yeah, our detective friend, since I guess he doesn't have Daredevil to go after, he tries to arrest Spider-Man. So Spider-Man swings off with him and like webs him up to a rooftop, and he's talking to him as the sun's rising and stuff. And Spider-Man's basically like, okay, well, he's like, you're gonna have to make a choice. Do you want to uphold the law or save lives? Okay, can't always do both.
And what's this last scene with Kingpin and the Owl?
Oh, well, babe, Kingpin like kidnaps the Owl and basically tells him, I told all of you to, keep cool and not like in fight and stuff. He's like, but no, you had to go and like mess with other people's territories. He's like, but I'm going to send you on a little trip. He's like, get out of town. And basically I was like, no. He go, and even Kingpin's like, excuse me. He's like, I ain't going anywhere. He's like, you're too fancy these days. He's like, you're not getting your hands dirty. He's like, and I see how you're trying to get in with like, the most powerful family in America and stuff. And he's like, and I know if I get too public, I'm going to derail your plans. So he's like, maybe you should start. The Owl flies away and it's like, so maybe you should start playing it safe. I guess meaning, stay away from me. Mm-hmm. You ain't the big man anymore. He's like,
you know what I love about
it's basically Fisk. You still want to be in charge, but you don't want to get your hands dirty.
Yeah, well, their truer words were never said. And what I loved about this was that the Owl actually flies away. People forget the Owl can actually fly.
I don't know if he can fly. I think he can glide. Me like his. What is it? His hollow or something or
no, it's like he has like he can fly the same way that Jessica Jones can fly. Where it's not real flight, but that's actually that's that one thing that was hinted to in the first season of Daredevil. Mm-hmm. That Owsley's son keeps on, all he wants to do is do the ski jump because he could fly, and that was this one thing they hinted at that they never followed up with. Shame on you, Netflix. You set that up with Owsley and then you never really do anything with it. But yeah, he can actually fly. He can fly, and they do show him flying here. Because that's not gliding. That's just a standing jump. He is flying in that scene. So that is definitely a jump.
And then Mindy calls Matt and it's like, oh, I need you because I guess her mother-in-law has basically shut down the bookstore. She's like, oh no, we're all in hiding. They tried to kill us. And Mindy's like, Matt, I need you. They won't let me make any decisions. I want to make one decision, and it's to cheat with you.
Yeah. She seems kind of a toxic person. I'm going to be honest with you.
Well, she married into a mobster's family. I mean, how nice can she be? But yeah, but then Matt like kind of hangs up on her because he, with his hypersenses, he hears like the copycat Daredevil from the beginning of the issue about to get. I don't know if he's about to get beaten or killed, but
yeah. Oh boy. So hey, as always, favorite book Gwenpool.
Oh, number 2.
And you get this basic, interesting aspect here. So this is where I say, then this is the sex sells issue, where she's basically, because of course she needs the cover. He says, I got to get a good cover, so I need a cover where I'm kissing Mr. Fantastic. Oh, and the same way the last issue was the cover was her unmasking Peter Parker. And she hires Deadpool. And it's kind of fun because she makes this, because Deadpool asks, how exactly is it you can afford me since you're only a teenager? He says, well, I'm glad you brought that up. And then she just explains how, look, I'm 19, and because of the way Marvel time works, I'm still 19. So do not ship me and Deadpool. He is way too old for me, and it's gross. And they just keep on referencing that, and then she like opens the pages between her and Deadpool, and this was the thing. She makes this point that in the last issue she found out that she can she has the Scarlet Witch kind of power, which is if it happens off panel, she can change what happened. So she can say this happened off panel and bring it into reality. So like her from another story where she hung out with Radioactive Man and became severely cancerous and radioactive and dies, that is actually another universe that she created with a retcon ability. It's like crazy Scarlet Witch level powers, which is not for nothing exactly what they implied she could become if she turned evil. And she has this power, but she doesn't want to be evil. She just wants to continue to exist in the Marvel universe, which is this craziness. And then she has this great scene with her and Deadpool because they're trying to sell issues, you know. And I love like her, and because it's like she like Deadpool. They're like their dialogue in this is just amazing because they're both very comically aware, but you know, Gwenpool has powers in her comic awareness that Deadpool does not. And wackiness ensues. You get this whole thing about all the people, you know, because she wants to make out with one of the, make out with someone in the Fantastic Four. And it's like, you know, if I make out with Reed, the problem with Reed is he's too into Sue. Make out with Sue, she's too into Reed. And Deadpool's like, well, maybe you could be the little bisexual unicorn that fulfills their dreams. It's like, they're not going to let that happen in a Fantastic Four book. Come on. And then they go through like, well, you could seduce the Thing. And it's like, well, first off, he is still married to Alicia. And second, I have no idea how that would even work. And then when they get to poor Johnny Storm, she's like, no. Poor, lonely Johnny Storm. But she does accidentally, which is how we get our cover shot, she accidentally kisses Reed Richards. As he accidentally walks in at just the right time. And then a fight ensues, and the Thing goes back to bed. Because this is like, because Sue and Reed are fighting them, and like, fighting Gwenpool and Deadpool. You don't need me for this. Wackiness. And it's a lot of fun, the entire book. And, you know, but here's the thing. Because when she tells Deadpool what she did last issue, she says, well, I unmasked Spider-Man. Which is, as we know, something Deadpool hasn't even done. And he's like, you know, you unmasked my best friend. And says, well, now I got to bring out the big guns. And she's like, I know, you're not mad, you're just disappointed in me. He says, well, I am disappointed, but if you read my books, because they make a reference before that Gwenpool does not read his books, you would know the two things I like is bad puns and big guns. And that's where we leave it for next issue. But next issue, who's she meeting in the Marvel Universe next?
Hulk.
The Hulk. So, yeah, I love this. But I love Gwenpool. I ship Gwenpool with me. I'm going to say it. Although it would be gross. It's ew. She's 19. What the heck? But, you know, okay, I don't ship her. You know what? I'd like to be that nice old guy uncle she has who she hangs out with because she's cool. She's cool.
Uncle Charlie.
Everyone needs an old guy that, like, pays for the beer when you go hang out. You know, I know that because I'm that guy. You know, I'm the old fat guy who buys the beer. Everyone's just like, hey, Charlie, he's cool. Like, yes, I'm cool. I'm with the youngins. So, yes. That's cool. Do you have another book you want to talk about? Because I got two left.
Well, I was going to say real quick, I know you don't read Miles Morales' Spider-Man.
I want to, but
yeah, I mean, well, it's in there. But, yeah.
I know, but, you know, as soon as I win the lottery and I can just spend all day reading comic books, then, yes, it'll get read.
But no, he gets attacked by... It must be the ultimate universe Green Goblin, because he's even called Norman, so...
And Miles like starts getting memories. He's like, haven't I met you before? Getting those memories of the Ultimate Universe back. Then he gets attacked by a guy calling himself Ultimatum, who seems to have like powers of like heroes from the Ultimate Universe, because he seems like he can change his size, and he almost looks like he's wearing Ultimate Giant Man's costume. He has a shield and stuff. But at the end of the issue, the dude Ultimatum, he goes and he's talking to Wilson Fisk. And they seem all buddy, and they reveal Ultimatum is a figure that we met in the Spider-Man 2 miniseries.
Mm-hmm.
It's the 616 Miles Morales.
Oh,
who was friends with Kingpin back in the day.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Okay. Quick shout out to Invisible Woman number 3. Still, it's a good spy novel. You get superpowered spies and all the different ways you can use the super invisibility powers and whatnot, and a lot of great distractions here. We do realize that the red herring of the redheaded wife was actually just literally a red herring. Because I'm just a retired spy, and they just created a fake life for us here, and I see Aiden probably like twice a year, not much, but yada. But then she pulls a gun on Sue, but then the villains attack, and yada yada happens there. But then find out that was tracking this billionaire industrialist lady, so she goes to the art gallery where the lady is. Because as she's talking with Valeria, light is that she's basically just shifting the way light works, so that means that she can change her hair, change her skin tone, so she can be super tan with red hair and all this kind of stuff. Still leaves her eyes blue, though. Interesting note. To get close and to she can go in disguise. She says she does this from time to time to turn Ben pink, which takes a lot of her concentration. He does not like it. She captures the industrialist and spirits her away, and then she explains that she actually was kidnapped and yada, yada, yada. But no, Triple Cross actually, after her goons try to attack her, and she like dispatches them because she's like the freaking Invisible Woman. Then we use the sonic device to bring her down, and it's actually the bad lady all along. And then, bum, 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 her friend that she's trying to rescue is actually in league with the bad guy.
Of course.
More of that next issue. And then finally, because I finally got to read it, Actual Roger. Man, I love this book. I kind of I don't know if there was a time jump or what, but we find out that Magnanimo actually can't actually fly. That's a misnomer. What it is he falls up. And the only thing that keeps him grounded to the earth is the magnet he wears around his neck.
Oh, jeez.
And we get his secret origin later, which is about how he was at the Large Hadron Collider and had this theory: if he could win the Nobel Prize, he could pay off his student debt. Starts working with monopoles and tries to do his experiment in the Large Hadron Collider, but it goes horribly, horribly wrong, as things do. Large Hadron Collider flies into space, but then he has the power to also fly into space, except when he's wearing his thing. His thing got stolen by his ex-sidekick, so that's why he's now floating into space. And then accidentally, because it is a comic book, saves the Mockingbird, which is the space plane that's crashing. So yay for that. Dr. Spectre, who's our villain in this. Oh, we get this guy who is, what's his name? Gogol. Got an elephant head. So he's cool. And you can see he's kind of a mercenary playing all sides of the same coin, which is fun in its own way. Dr. Spectre is the evil genius who captured... also we get this great little, really quick scene, but I love it because remember Clay from the first issue, who's his friend, who gets the clay face powers. And he's going to be, I'm all evil because you done betrayed me, friend. No, because remember, these are 7-year-olds who gained his, crazy superpowers. And he's like, no, I never betrayed you. He's like, oh, okay. And they get together and they decide to be superheroes together again. And they go and get in the semi truck driven by the elephant guy. And they say they got to go to Stable Centers. Then we find out that, apparently actual Roger's parents had been captured by Dr. Spectre. But they're all still very cool about everything. Dr. Spectre uses his wall of sound to turn a cloud into a rock. Mm-hmm. And his dad says, oh, yeah, we should do that at Skunk Works for fun. Which I think maybe the first time we found out that Roger's father is actually a super genius secret government guy who's been working at the Skunk Works for years. But, but then we find out that the evil Dr. Spectre is going to use his wall of sound. You may recognize him from media posts not too long ago. It's based off of Phil Spector.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I know, Phil. You don't like people that ruining the name for all the good people out there. But yeah, he's gonna try and drop all the clouds on LA, and actual Roger has to stop him with clay because Magnanimo is still stuck in space because he keeps on falling up because he lost his monopole thing on his neck that kept him grounded to Earth. That's why it wasn't that he was flying; it's that the thing that he was wearing was what was keeping him close to her.
What issue number was that?
That was actual Roger number 4.
Ooh.
From the good folks at Eternal Comics. I'm one alternate comic behind every week. Next week, when we read It Came Out on a Wednesday. That's their anthology book. And I'm very excited about this. Haven't read it yet, but that's what got me reading. Look at this. What are the Himalayas? That's what got me reading actual Roger because he premiered and it came out on a Wednesday. So I really like the alternate comics. They're very fun. I wish I had more time to read them. But I'll get back. But we will talk about It Came Out on the Wednesday next week on Super Connectivity. And in the meantime, Phil, how can people find you?
If you want to get a hold of me, you can always email me, nightwingpdp@gmail.com. On Twitter, I am at nightwingpdp. You can always get a hold of us on Capes and Lunatics, on Facebook, Twitter, and our voicemail, 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES.
And, of course, if you'd like to write to me in that old-fashioned email way, you can certainly do so at superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. That's right. Write to me in the way our mothers and fathers once did at superconnectivityblog, all one word, @gmail.com. And, of course, follow me on the Twitters. And I have to ask this of Phil. Did you sing it last time?
Yes, I did.
You did? Oh, I got to listen. Got to listen to Phil.
Too. Yes, I did.
There you go. So follow me on the Twitters at Charlie Esser. That's CHARLIESSER. Look for the 2 E's right there in the middle.
For quality. Bing!
There you go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that has been Super Connectivity for another week. Won't you please super connect with us again next?
Big show.
Good night.
Big show next week.
Big show. I don't know what number Super Connectivity is.
255 next week.
Yeah, it's not as cool as 1, 2, 3 for Capes and Lunatics.
Oh,
Wow, I've been on twice as long as you, man. That shocks me.
I was here most of the time too.
Well, I know you were. You were like the third guest host.
We could get
Or the second.
we could get a live Moz Manzor ding next week.
We're gonna try to again. We had problems the last time.
Better live.
Yeah, well, it's always better live.